Hasn't been that long. What's up, everybody? I'm Michael,
And I'm Amanda.
and it is so nice to be back with the YouTube fam. What's up?
What's up?
So, we figured that we would just give an update. It's been a while since we've been on here, and just give an update on where we are and what we've been up to and all that jazz. And so, I guess since the last time we were really on YouTube, babe, tell them a little bit about what's been going on with us.
Yeah, so we moved back to Texas and we are in the DFW area, which is a pretty large area. So we're more on the D side than the FW side. And that's pretty much all I'll give you. But I love where we live. I love our neighborhood. I love our neighbors. I love life. It's awesome.
It is great. It's so nice to be back home, close to the family, especially with two young kids, closer to grandparents
Yes.
and great grandparents. Like even for Memorial Day, we got a bunch of family who's coming into town, which
Michael's going to be grilling.
I'm going to be grilling. It's going to be great. And I think it's just so cool because I know for us, like based off of where we are now, it's like I have my grandmother on my mom's side and grandfather. I have my grandmother on my dad's side. I have my parents and some other family members who are going to be staying with us. And it's just going to be like Christmas in May.
Yeah.
But we're hosting it.
Yeah.
And I just think about what God's done over the last year or so and just how faithful he's been. And it's just incredible to think about.
Yeah, he has been faithful.
Yeah.
So what would you say was what made our decision for this move? I'm sure some of our YouTube fam who are kind of late to knowing this would like to know.
Yeah. So we were in Atlanta. We were in ministry there. And then when that assignment wrapped up, we were just thinking to ourselves, like, what makes sense? We had really moved out to Atlanta for that assignment. And even when I think about the time that we spent in Atlanta, I'm just so grateful for it. Like, there was so much good that came out of that. Like, there was so many lives that were changed. There were so many ways that we grew, so many opportunities, people we met, friendships that we forged that will be long lasting. And so I'm just super grateful for the time that we were there. But once that assignment wrapped up, we were thinking to ourselves, okay, well, since we moved out here to Atlanta for that, what would be the next best step? Like, what makes sense? And so I had tossed around staying in Atlanta. Had gotten accepted in the theology school, actually. And so we're like, okay, that may be a path. But I think that for us, we were like, well, especially with our family,
Yeah.
we always actually kind of felt like we were going to move back to Texas.
Yeah, we always thought we would. We just thought it would be when the kids were grown.
Yeah.
And we would go back for our own pleasure.
Yeah.
But look at God. He's such a good God that he would let us do it early.
Yeah. He said, enjoy your pleasure early. I mean, we love DFW. This is where we grew up. This is where we went to college. This is where we met.
This is where a lot of my family is as well. A lot of my family lives in Fort Worth. So, yeah, it's good to see even my family, even old family friends,
Yeah.
Like we have built so much community in Atlanta. I started to think to myself whenever we moved back to Dallas, gosh, I have to make friends all over again. Like, how do I make friends and start from scratch? And I realized once we moved here, I'm like, I'm not starting from scratch. Like, we have lots of friendships here and blooming and blossoming. And I'm just grateful for that.
So being here in Texas, I know that you've talked about being close to family, friends. You've talked about, the area and our neighbors and all of that jazz. But like, what are you up to? Like, what are we actually doing these days?
Yeah. So I'll be honest, whenever we first moved here, I was on my tip-top housewifey stuff. I was like, I'm going to be taking care of my plants, laundry, house decor, all of that on deck. Everything got to smell good at all times. I'm going to pick up the kids, take them to the park, and it just kind of felt like my idealistic dream suburban mom life. And it's great. It's really great. Like, I'm very idealistic too.
Very.
And like whenever like whenever we lived in Atlanta, we weren't living in the hood, but it was right next to the hood. It's like if you go if you go half a mile, if you go a quarter of a mile this way,
We were in the hood.
you're in the hood.
Our car got stolen out of our
Yeah,
driveway. So
it's nice to be in like Texas suburbia.
yeah.
It feels different for sure. But it's just nice for me because I feel like we made a lot of sacrifices in Atlanta for the sake of God's call in our life, for the sake of being wise financially. We just made a lot of like sacrifices, you know? And so it kind of felt like this is my chance to have my idealistic world, you know? But I just told Michael that like the honeymoon stage is starting to wear off when it comes to like being here, and we're getting into the real work. So what we're actually doing when it comes to work is we're working together in our business, Launch Confident, where we help Christian entrepreneurs confidently and profitably launch their next online course or coaching program. And we love it.
It's so much fun.
It has been a blast.
It's so much fun.
And there's nothing like being in alignment with what God made you to do. I believe like every bit of our story led to this point, you know, because we had to be in the trenches as entrepreneurs and figure it out while we were in Atlanta in order to get to the place where we have the level of expertise to pour into others. And we're extremely good at what we do. And so there's nothing like knowing what you're made to do and doing it and feeling the joy and the satisfaction of that and seeing it change people's lives. So that's been really exciting. And I'm also growing my team for Confident Woman Co. And doing monthly challenges with Confident Woman Co., which is incredible. That's been a joy and a blast. And on top of that, I am going through the process of landing a book deal.
I know.
So I'm really excited. I'll keep you guys in the loop for my upcoming book, but this is a very exciting season, and just walking in God's plan for our lives. It's so special.
Yeah. In addition to Launch Confident, we have Simple Money Academy. So many of you guys know that I worked in the financial space for a really long time. I packaged up a lot of the information that I learned there, and I sold it to the public. And I mean, I guess I technically still do that. I don't really offer it to the public anymore, but I do offer it to colleges and universities. And so there is a unique opportunity. There is basically a special program within many colleges and universities that require a financial literacy component, and I'm an alum of that program. And so it just gives me the door to help a bunch of people and take the course that we have and, you know, market it to people. And it's, I don't know, it's kind of cool. I'm not going to lie, because it's like many times when people think, oh, I need to sell a course or something like that, it's like, oh, I need to have a lot of followers or like a big email list or whatever. And this is just cool because it literally doesn't require any of that. It just required me knowing who was looking for what I wanted to do. So whenever we were in the ministry space in Atlanta, because you're in ministry, like you're always pouring out for other people. And I'm thinking to myself now, like, wow, we're not leading anybody.
You're not.
I mean, I'm not. I mean, she has.
I mean, he has employees, so.
Yeah. But I mean,
it's different.
You're
not stewarding their souls.
It's not stewarding souls. You know, like there's just a lower level of expectation from the world, and it's just like, oh wow, I guess it's just this is how people live. You know, so it's cool. I'm enjoying it. We found a good church home as well, which is exciting.
Yeah, I would say I have really enjoyed life outside of vocational ministry because it's now all that I do in terms of ministry is something that is outside of the four walls of church. It is not within a church. And we are going to serve in our local church, but I think it's different when you're a pastor.
Yeah, totally.
It's just a high level of expectation, and it's so beautiful to be in a place where we can receive and give from the overflow rather than give from obligation. So it's beautiful, and I'm grateful for it. And I still do pour out. If you'd like to join our monthly challenges with Confident Woman Co., we do it on the first Monday of every month. And we focus it on a new topic each time. And so the topic for June is going to be the Seek God Challenge. And I'm really excited about that one. But it's beautiful to be in a place where you're really healed and you're living from a place of restoration, because everything feels like a delight. And I'm just really grateful to be in a place where I'm genuinely happy, like I have genuinely thriving relationships. I have beautiful children and marriage is great. And that's not to say that the hard times won't come. I mean, I think 2020 was a pretty tough year for me and for us. But I would also say that it's beautiful to enjoy this season when God gives you what you prayed for.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know, anything else that's been going on with us?
I would say, what are some of your goals moving forward, at least with this next season?
Yeah, for sure. I think that, so one of the goals that I had was, figuring out in what way we would get back involved with local ministry in a way, and without being pastors. And we kind of found that, and so that's really, really exciting. And I'm looking forward to the ways that I can grow and within the church context that we're a part of now. And honestly, it's the biggest focus, if I'm being candid, is just helping other people, especially through the context of Launch Confident, simply because there are a lot of people who are out there who genuinely are great at what they do. And they're always giving free advice. They're always giving free game. People are always looking to them as an authority in this space or that space. And maybe they even have like a platform, but they just don't know how to turn that expertise into something that they can truly monetize for good.
Yeah.
And it's not all about the money, but what I do find is that when people have the freedom to make money through the lens of entrepreneurship,
and also in alignment with their design.
And then in alignment with their design, then what happens is it frees them up to think about how they're going to use the more money they make or the more time they potentially even have to further the kingdom. Yeah. And I think that there's a huge desire out there for Christian entrepreneurs to win, but many times it's difficult to find the people who are really about Jesus, not spiritual. They got plenty of spiritual folks out there, but you mess up and join a program and they talking about the universe and your astrological sign. I think that the big thing that I'm focused on is just growing Launch Confident and helping whoever wants to be helped.
Yeah.
What about you? What are your big goals coming up?
Yeah, I would say goals that I'm working on, the primary one is just carrying the message that God placed inside me to the world. I have such a deep conviction to share the message of confidence and confidence found in Christ with the world, because I've seen how it's changed my life, and I believe that confidence changes everything. There's so many Christian women who walk around, they're saved and they're sanctified and they're filled with the Holy Spirit, but there's something that's not transferring. There's this lack of identity and lack of purpose, which causes a lack of confidence. And so it's really the Christian women who should be most confident because they know who they are. And so that's my mission. That's my life's mission. And I'll do that by any means possible, so the mission remains the same, but there are many methods to accomplish that. So I'm excited to do that on social media through Launch Confident, to raise my daughter and my son that way, and also to do that through my book coming up. It's just exciting to think about furthering that message, because I really do believe that if you grasp that and you grasp a deep understanding of your identity in Christ, it will change everything. So there's that. And then the other piece is my health and fitness journey. That's really important to me right now. So I'm just focused on eating well, good portions, steady and consistent long game cardio, just doing the right things over and over and over until you see the results. And I have seen some results so far, and I'm grateful for that. But it's just good to pick back up on this journey after quarantine last year.
Come on,
because
quarantine.
after I stopped breastfeeding and quarantine hit at the same time, y'all, I just gained 15 pounds like that. And so it's nice that those pounds are gone, but I'm trying to just, finish it out, get back to college size and feel great about myself. And also feel great about myself every step of the way. And that's something that God is stretching me on and showing me in this season. And so, yeah.
You're still super fine.
Thank you, honey.
You're still super fine now.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Those are my goals in this season, and that's kind of what's most important to me in this season.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah. So I guess anything else you wanted to mention?
Yeah. So that's an update on us, and we are getting back into YouTube.
Yes.
And you can expect a video from us once a week. And I'm excited about our next topic. It should be fun.
Yes, we have already discussed what that topic is going to be, and it's been really helpful for us. And I'm really grateful because I feel like we've been consistently learning along the way.
Yeah.
And kind of sharing with YouTube along the way. But I felt like we took like a while off of YouTube and went through
a lot of life.
But
honestly, that life should not have been lived on in the public anyway. So it's good.
Yeah, you're right.
That was not a public season.
Yeah, no, you're right. But like I'm saying that the things that we learned,
yes,
it's like now coming back to YouTube, I'm like, oh, we about to drop some gems. Because it's one thing to drop gems based off of like, oh, I was reading a book or listening to podcasts. And another thing to be dropping gems like, hey, this is something that really helped us.
I lived this. It goes from informational knowledge to experiential knowledge. And you feel that differently. It hits differently.
It hits different.
It's just you have a deep level of conviction that you don't have when it's just informational.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that.
And then when you have experiential knowledge instead of informational knowledge, it becomes transformational knowledge. My alliteration game has gone up so strong since 2019.
Yeah, that was more so like rhyming.
Yeah, it was a rhyme.
Because alliteration.
I've read a lot of Dr. Seuss since 2019. Have y'all read Fox and Box on Socks and Fox? You got to get your rhyme game up.
Okay, rhyme game, yeah, okay. Well, I'm not as impressive, but I will be able to share with you whatever I learned, and if it rhymes, it rhymes. If it don't, it won't.
Oh, I see what you did there. That was good.
Okay, so what's great too is that, with us being more plugged in with the channel, we really want you guys to help us steer the content. So if you have any questions, or things that you feel like would be great for us to talk about, especially in that business and entrepreneurship space, or confidence and identity space, I think that'd be something that'd be super fun to talk about. Mm-hmm. So we're kind of putting the ball in your court to an extent. But yeah, leave a message below on how your 2021 is and how things are going this year for you. And we look forward to catching up with you guys again soon. Love y'all. Bye.